we explained last week why Achashverosh threw this extravagant party, why it was so long, and why it was 180 days. Yeah? Anyone remember? Anyone remember?
Yeah, each day was six of the
oh, exactly right. So he said the reason why he did it was, one, he wanted to prove himself. Remember, he said he was a commoner. He wanted to prove himself. He wanted to show how great he was, how powerful he was, and also he wanted to ensure worldwide stability. Unlike this country with a bit of anarchy, calling for anarchy, and that's crazy. Banana Republic, So he wanted to have stability. You understand why? Because if you had all the heads of state and he did this fantastic party, so then he's going to be, everyone loves him, everyone sees how powerful he is, everyone says how great he is, how nice he is, and he's safe. Okay? Now, we said why the long and the days, because he wanted to show off these treasure pieces. Yeah? He wanted to show off these treasure things, all these he inherited from Koresh, from Nebuchadnezzar, and there were 1,080 pieces, masterpieces, exhibits, and we said that 6 times 180 is 1,080, right? Now, what we didn't say last week, if you got the pasuk in front of you, in Perek Aleph pasuk Dalet, so when it says Baharto et Oshe Kevod Malchuto, Oshe Kevod Malchuto, ואת יקר תפארת גדולתו ימים רבים 80 ומעט יום. Right? You got the place, guy? Yeah, you got it? Okay. So pasuk Dalet, Baharto et Oshe Kevod Malchuto. Oshe Kevod Malchuto, that's 3 words. V'et Yikar Tiferet Gedulato is 6. And the Vilna Gaon explains those 6 expressions, which we'll explain in a minute, are corresponding to the 6 items that he showed every day, which made up 180 days. With me? Now, he says that we've got 2 concepts over here. We have this, what's called Malchut, Malchuto, right, his monarchy, and Gedulato is basically loosely translated his greatness, right? Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? So the Vilna Gaon explains as follows. Malchut refers to power, right? Malchut, monarchy, king, powerful king. And when we say Gadlut, that is referring to what we see beauty, glory, something precious. Now, the Malchut, he explains, right? We're talking about, when we refer to Malchut, we talk about wealth and honor. That's why it says in the pasuk, Baharto et Oshe Kevod Malchuto. You hear that? The wealth and the honor of his monarchy. Right? The example given, the Vilna Gaon gives, is, let's say, someone who works, put it into our language, in the president's office. I don't know if it's such an honor nowadays, but let's say, or the king, in the president's office. So he boasts, right, that he's working in the president's office. You understand? Meaning it's something external. You hear what I'm saying, guy? The Malchut, it is all, its power, it's external to the person himself. And therefore, we relate things like honor, wealth, these are things external to the person. With me? That's why it says, Oshe Kevod Malchuto, like the person says, I work in the thing for the president. It's like an ego trip thing. It has nothing to do with intrinsically with me. You following me? However, Gedula, says the Vilna Gaon, that's referring to the person's intrinsic greatness as a person. You understand? He's godless. We talk about the Godlador. Not because he's powerful, because he's a great person, intrinsically, right? He's a great personage. So on that, we talk about Yakars, which is something precious, valuable, Tiferet, glory. You understand? That's why it refers to the Yakar, Tiferet Gedulato. Now, the Gemara in Megillah, Masechet Megillah, says that Achashverosh at this party wore the big day kahuna. You've probably heard this, He wore the big day kahuna. He wore the begadim of the Kohen Gadol in his party. We saw this, we said already 2 weeks ago, right? This immoral place, immoral physical, lustful party, he wore the big day Kohen HaGadol. And if you look in the Psukim in Parshat Tetzaveh, it's coming up, right, 2 weeks' time, it says that the big day Kuna were lechavod v'letiferet. Here you have the word kavod and tiferet. Now we said kavod over here goes with malchut, and you see tiferet goes with gedula, right? Why? Because the Kohen Gadol had both. The Kohen Gadol was extremely wealthy, and therefore his kavod, right? Even one stone on the Choshen Mishpat, the Yashvet, the Gemara says, was worth thousands of golden nuggets. It was worth millions. You understand? He represented, power and control, but not obviously in a positive sense, right? The Gemara even says that the Kohen Gadol is just below the king in terms of ranks of greatness and power. The Kohen Gadol was a very powerful figure, and we say the Tifaret, which is glory. The Kohen Gadol was a Kohen Gadol. He was a great person intrinsically, right? The Kohen Gadol, or the big Dekuna, had the tzitz with the Shem Hashem, right? He wore the Shem Hashem. He was so kadosh. He went to Kodesh Kodashim. You with me? And here came along Chashverosh, as it were. You understand? And he was, obviously in the physical sense, that's what he was representing, right? His gedula and his kavod. He was saying, "Look at me. You know what I mean? I'm a great person. I'm a powerful person. I'm everything." You with me? And that's all in this pasuk. That's what Vilna Gaon explains it. It's beautiful. Now, but you have to learn it now, because if you think about it too much in the Megillah, you might not be yotzer. Yeah, because he's just going through again how it all fits in, and then he's gone 3 psukim ahead. Okay? Now, let's read the next few psukim, and we'll see what we manage. I know we started late now. Ubimlot, I'm reading through psukim hey to tet. Ubimlot hayamim ha'eleh, and when these days finished, asa melech l'chol ha'am hanimtzaim b'shushan habira, migadol v'ad katan, mishte shivat yamim v'chatza ginat bitan hamelech. When these days finished, these 180 days, let's get it straight. It was a few months. Then the king made for all the people that were found in Shushan HaBirah, from the largest, literally translated, to the smallest, the greatest, to the least, the lowest, Mishte Shivat Yamim, a week party, B'chatzah Gina Bitan HaMelech, in the courtyard of the Bitan HaMelech. Okay? Now, it says the next pasuk, Chur Karpas Utchelet Achuz B'chavle Butz, which is different colors, of Rashi explains, of cloth, of fine, what's the better word for cloth? Fabrics, very fine fabrics. Explain the colors, turquoise, this, achuz b'chavli butz b'argaman, which were tied on with strings of, again, argaman is a type of deep blue turquoise butz, al galile kesef v'amudei shesh, on pillars of silver, right? Galile kesef means the base was silver, and the amudei shesh means shaish. There were marble pillars. Mitot zahav kesef, there were beds were solid gold and silver. Al ritzpat bahat v'shesh v'dav v'sachoret, on a floor which was laden with 4 different types of stone in the floor. This was the courtyard. Now, v'hashkot b'kli zahav v'kelim v'kelim shonim, and the drink was given in golden vessels with different types of vessels. V'yein malchut, royal wine, rav, plenty of it, kiyad hamelech, in a great way. V'hashtiya kedat ein ones, and the drink was given according to the law. No one was forced. Kikeni sad hamelech al kol rav beito, that what the king ordered on everyone. La'asot, from the rav beito, meaning his people work, the servants. La'asot kirtzon ish v'ish, to do the will of every person. Okay? Now, that's a translation. Now, we've got 3 main questions over here, 3 main questions, and we're going to first say the questions, then we're going to go through the psukim, just dissect the psukim, now we did in everything other shurim, you with me, go through the psukim and diukim, etc., and then come back to answer those 3 questions, which I do not think is going to happen now, because of the start and the door problem, but anyway, the 3 main questions like this. One is, why did he throw this extra party? Simple kasha,
7 days.
Why? He did 108, you know what I mean? He did it for everyone. What's this, another week of party? That was going on over here? What was it?
It's like the after party, the special thing.
This was for everyone in Shushan. Do you know what I mean? Okay, what's this thing of it? Now, Second of all, why did the pasuk? We're saying this is specifically because we're basing ourselves on the Vilna Gaon that said every pasuk is coming to teach us something. What do we need to know? Do you know what I mean? All this whole thing over here, how the golden beds and how the drapes were, you know what I mean, and the beautiful fabrics and this and that, and the floor tilings. What do I care? Very nice, do you know what I'm saying? But it's not like some novel. Do you understand? This is a Megillah, yeah. It's from the Ketuvim. It's got Ruach HaKodesh. That's number 2. And also, we said, everywhere, at least every pasuk, every couple of pasukim put together, the Vilna Gaon says, we see this Atzat Hashem, these hidden miracles going on. What's the hidden miracle? Through a party, very fancy, tons of booze, yeah, and everyone's happy. Where's the miracle? Do you understand? Nothing, yeah? Seems like it could be anywhere. The Havdil could be in some paper describing, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Trump's, party with what's his name? That other guy. Anyway, so now let's go to the psukim. Yeah, the pasuk hey, right? The pasuk says ubimlot hayamim hayin asa melech lechol ha'am hanimtzaim b'shushan hamira. So the first question is, what does that mean? Hanimtzaim. Just say lechol ha'am asher b'shushan hamira. Why did it have to say in the pasuk lechol ha'am hanimtzaim, who were found in Shushan Bira? Yeah, here, Aaron? The word is like redundant. Secondly, this is a question of the Yosef Lekach, which is the Pirush, which the Vilna Gaon is heavily based upon, very similar, some of the Pirushim. He asked, why did it say Migadol v'ad Katan? In all psukim, when it talks about from the smallest to the biggest, it says Mikaton v'ad Gadol, right? For example, he quotes in with Lot, when it says, when the Malachim came, right? Or all the people came banging his door down. Remember? A few months ago? Or they came and they found he had guests. They were all banging the door down. The pasuk says, Mikatan ad Gadol. Meaning from the children, even the kids, the whole Sodom was bashing the door down. And he brings other psukim. We always talk about from the smallest to the biggest, right? So why here is it Migadol v'ad Katan? It's flipped over. Also, what does it mean? Chatza gitnat bitan hamelech. What's this bitan hamelech? What are we referring to over here? Now, 1 second. Yeah. Now, so the first thing is the Vilna Gaon explains, and the Yosef Lekach. The reason why it says a nimtzaim is because, not as it were, Achashverosh was an outsider. Remember we said he moved all the government buildings from Bavel to Shushan. So it wasn't as if he was there, the king, and he invited everyone where he's been for the last decade, 20 years. This is a capital city, right? And he threw a party for everyone in the capital city. He just moved in, you with me, and built this whole royal compound. So he wrote to the who were found, meaning they were the people that were there when he came. You with me? That's why it says. Now, Migadol v'ad Katan, the Yosef Lekach, he says a very nice pshat. He says whenever we talk about in the other psukim, let's say with Lot, right? We say from the smallest to the largest, the youngest, the oldest, whatever it is. We're trying to explain that everyone was equal in a certain aspect, in terms of Lot. Even from the kids till the adults, right? They were all the same, banging the door down. You following me? Right? They were all there banging the door down in the same thing. However, over here, the idea was not that everyone was the same, right? This was not communism, yeah? This was being very democratic. Migadol v'ad Katan does not necessarily mean in terms of age, right? Rather, it means in terms of status. And he was saying from the people the high status till low lives, they were all treated in the way they wanted to be treated. You understand? We're not trying to say they were all the same. Rather, each one was treated. The educated, rich guy. Was on his level. The low life was spoken to and treated to in his level. With me, It wasn't that we're trying to make everyone equal. They weren't equal. He knows they weren't equal. Do you understand? But he was relating to everyone in their way. You with me? Which follows him at the end. We said the last thing we read. He wanted to keep everyone happy. Kibbutz ish for ish. You follow me? That was the idea. Okay. Then V'chatzah Gina Bitan HaMelech, the Vilna Gaon explains that that where it was in those days. The king had his whole royal compound, and then there was the Bitan HaMelech, which was this this smaller palace, as it were. There we go. This smaller palace, which was there for the king's pleasure. And in front of that palace, he had a large courtyard. He had the gardens and all the rest of it. You understand? Exquisite gardens. And this party took place in the Chatzar Gina Bitan HaMelech. Okay?
Yeah,
it took place. Yeah, it was in the courtyard in front of this thing. Now, what we need to know was the courtyard. And carry on a bit. I never started. You okay? Yeah. So we'll say, he says, we'll just say this piece now. And in that courtyard, if we go to the end of Pasuk Vav, it says, V'et ritzpat bahat, v'al ritzpat bahat v'shesh v'da v'socharet. Now, I have managed to find out the exact translation of all these precious type stones, But the Vilna Gaon explains that there were 4 completely different type of precious stones, marble, quartz, whatever it is, there's different types of stones. I couldn't think of the words in English now. Quartz, marble, these very nice stones, and there were rows of these. This was the courtyard. This is the outside courtyard. We're not talking about inside the palace. Just the courtyard had these, these rows of each one 4 different rows of these beautiful, precious floor tiles with these solid stone. Do you understand? To make it understand, imagine what was inside the palace. Do you understand the lavishness of what was going on? Okay, now we're going to probably have to stop here because I think they started Ma'ariv. Mitzvah Hashem, next week we're going to explain Pasuk Vav. We're going to explain why we need to know all this lavishness and what was going on over here, and where the hidden miracle was. Okay.